I'm Laura Starling, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. There's nothing better than a well-dressed man. Design and tailoring goes hand in hand. The look, the feel, the custom fit. William Wilson's designs you will never forget. Introducing the one, the only, Mr. William Wilson. Hi, William.
Hey, how you doing?
So who is William Wilson?
Honestly, just a country boy from Arkansas that just likes to make the most out of life. You know, I make a living selling suits, but I really just like to have fun, enjoy life, and just have the most fun I can in life without hurting anybody.
So what university did you go to?
I am a Razorback.
Okay.
I am a Razorback. Woo pig suey, go hogs.
Oh my God.
Fear the tusk.
Okay, so what did you study?
I got my undergrad in business management, my master's in economics.
In economics. So when did you go to the Navy? Because I know you went to Navy. Was that after?
I went to the Navy right out of high school, so I finished college while I was in the Navy.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. How was that experience?
Best thing I've ever done in my life. But I've been very blessed to accomplish a lot of things in life, but by far the thing I'm most proud of is serving my country, my time in the military.
Now, how did you get involved with NASCAR?
Well, first started watching NASCAR. I was at this sports bar. It's closed now, called Coach's. It used to be in South Charlotte. And I think a football game had went off, and the races happened to be on. And I heard Larry McReynolds, who was the announcer, he said, "The car is tight." I was like, "What does that mean, the car is tight?" Right. So that caught my attention. So I started watching. He's explaining how the car was tight, and then he explained tight and loose. They had like a graphics for it. I was like, "Oh, NASCAR, not just cars run around in circles. There's actual science to this." Because I'm a nerd by nature.
Right.
So if you give me anything that once it becomes intellectual, you got me hooked. Mm-hmm. So I started watching, and I kind of fell in love with the sport. And the next year, I went to a race with some friends of mine. And I watched the pit stops and everything, and I was like, I want to do this. And
just like that?
Yeah, I decided I wanted to do it just like
okay.
that. But my buddies all looked at me, and a guy named Steve Allen looked at me and said, "Look around you." He said, "What do you?" And when I looked around, the only people I saw that looked like me had event staff on their shirt. Mm-hmm. He said, "It's hard enough getting NASCAR if you know someone." Mm-hmm. He said, "You don't know anybody, and you're black." He said, "It can be almost impossible." The next year, I was on pit road.
So is there like any form of training you have to go through? Obviously there is.
I mean, it's a lot harder now because like now they have combines and they actively recruit college football players, track guys like this to be on pit crews now. They actually recruit them.
Oh, wow.
But at the time, you still had to have some athleticism. It's not easier to get in. But I just knocked on a bunch of doors, and Timmy Cahuth, who was the GM of the truck program at Ultra Motorsports, cause I wanted to drive.
You want to drive?
Hey, if you're gonna go on.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
He said, "Well, you're too old to try to get a drive." Because those guys, they start. Well, it's true. Those kids start driving go karts at like 5 or 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
Now that time I'm in my 20s. It was way too late for me to start trying to do something like that. But I said, "Well, can I still hang out?" He said, "Just stay out of the way." So I went out of my way to stay out of the way, and they're gonna have pit practice. And I watched pit practice, and I was like, "This is pretty cool." And I decided I want to be a jackman. So I actually went home, and I built a 2-foot wall, like a imitation pit wall, in my living room. And I cleared out, and I marked off everything, and I bought a 45-pound weight, because the jacks are 35 pounds.
Right.
I took a 45-pound weight, and I would practice like I was jumping off pit wall, getting ready to do a pit stop. I would just practice just on my own.
Right.
I did that for about a good 4 or 5 months, just in case they ever had the chance to try out. And we had pit practice, and the jackman hurt his back right before we did our first run. And I begged our crew chief. I was like, "Can I just get one shot? Just one shot?" He's like, "William, you're gonna make sure you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna something, whatever. You're gonna sue us." I said, "Look," I'll sign a waiver. I'll sign whatever. He said, "If I do this, will you leave me alone?" I said, "Give me one shot. I'll never bother you again." And we did the stop. We were only 0.4 of a second slower than what they'd been doing. And by the time we finished, our pit stops were actually faster with me than the guy they already had under contract. And I got that shot, and that kind of got me on the radar. So then I started like hanging out with the crew. I would travel, but I'm sleeping on rollaway beds, on the floor, just wherever they fit me in, because they already had the schedule set out for this,
Right.
all the accommodations and stuff done. But it's just, I wanted to do it. So I just had to do what I had to do. And what I had to do was, get in where I fit in.
How did you manage from going from NASCAR and getting into fashion design?
Actually, at the time when I was in NASCAR, I actually owned a construction company as well. So I was working for 36 weeks a year. I was working 7 days a week.
Wow.
Because I'd be, at my construction job, Monday through Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on what side of the coast the race was on. And then we fly out to the race. So I was always going to meetings and things like that. So
Right.
that's why I always had suits on. And the only reason you know who I am now, one of my homeowners that was rebuilding a house for, he said, "Man, William, you always dress so nice. Could you help me put my wardrobe together?" Had he not asked me that question, you'd have no idea. Because I've never had a desire to do this. I was never interested in fashion. I actually care more about watches than I do clothes now.
Yeah.
Because I love watches. As a kid, I've always fascinated with watches and things like that. But the thing with clothing, I like the way people treat me when I'm dressed up.
Right. It's a whole different feel.
Yeah, in jeans and a t-shirt, I'm William. When I put on a suit, I'm Mr. Wilson. People treat you the way you're dressed. They address you based on your dress.
Right. So now you're the official clothier for Charlotte Motor Speedway and designs the Champions jacket for Coca-Cola 600,
Yep.
Bank of America 500, Sprint All-Star Race, and designed the officials members jacket for Speedway Club.
And I just designed a jacket for the North Carolina Military Veterans Hall of Fame.
How did all these opportunities come about? Because you were in the pit crew. And then,
Well, I'm a member. Well, when I started my clothing company, and again, I'm always looking for opportunities. And my rep at the time was a gentleman named Nathan Kroon, and he's actually working at Miami Motor Speedway now. But he was my Speedway Club rep. And I asked him, I said, do you guys have like a jacket for the winner? He's like, what do you mean? I said, like the winner who wins the race, kind of like the green jacket for the Masters.
right.
He's like, no, we've never had anything like that. So I said, here's what I like to do. So I kind of designed a program, and he and George Cale, who's the general manager of the Speedway Club now, we kind of all put it together and we tried it out. And Marcus Smith, who's the president of SMI, or CEO now, of Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, which owns Charlotte Motor Speedway in Atlanta and Bristol, and Marcus loved it. And I did the May race. I did the 600. Then he said, well, we'll see you for the October race. Because I tried to figure out a way to ask him to do it. He just automatically assumed I'd be there. And then same thing with All-Star race. So it just worked from there.
So your clients includes business owners, executives, professional athletes, celebrities, including Eddie Griffin, D.L. Hughley.
I've done stuff with George Lopez. I've got a lot of guys. And I'm working on some more. I got a couple projects for some TV things we're doing next year.
So you host a celebrity golf tournament. And one of your charity is for, do you choose one every time, or is it for?
Well, now I finally got my own 501c3 for domestic violence.
Domestic violence. Why did you choose domestic violence as your charity?
Because my mom's a domestic violence survivor. So growing up I've never felt so helpless in my life as growing up seeing that kind of thing. And I remember at 15 years old, and it was one of those nights, and I was so upset and I was so scared. I remember I was under my bed and I threw up under my bed.
Wow.
So here I am, some kid at probably 2 o'clock in the morning trying to clean up because I don't want to get in trouble. I decided that night, I said, I'm going to make sure my mom has at least one man in her life she'd be proud of. So I spent my whole life committed to that.
What advice would you give someone aspiring to start a new business?
But I would say 4 things. 1, develop a relationship with God, because you're going to need it. Or whoever you worship to. Learn the rules for yourself. Because if you let someone else tell you the rules, you're now hindered and restricted to what they told you. You know the rules for yourself. You know what you truly are capable of doing. You know what you really can do and can't do. Don't get caught up in color.
Right.
Because we spend a whole lot of time thinking, the white man this, the black man this, to this, to this, to this.
People are people.
I started there depending on my people. I love my people, but I got to eat. I'm supporting a lot of charities, a lot of things I'm doing.
Right.
And it is what it is. A white person or a black person that can't stand you will still hire you if you can make them money. The only 3 colors that really matter, green, white, and gray.
Right.
And I would say broke people get broke advice. So stop listening to broke people. But I don't mean broke from a money standpoint. It's one of the best business advice I get for people who don't have two nickels rubbed together. But I mean from a broken mindset. A broken mind can only produce broken thoughts. And those are people that no matter what idea you come up with, they'll tell you why it won't work.
So how can fans follow you?
Well, easy, just my social media on Twitter, Instagram is at the Clothier, TheClothier, or just go to WilliamWilsonClothing.com and just all my social media stuff is right there. They click on it, easier that way.
Absolutely. And I've already started reading the William Wilson perspective, and I got to tell you guys, it is life-changing. So you have to look it up, find it. You can find it, Google it, because that's what I did. It's amazing. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here in your shop and to be able to look at all this fine clothing and all the people that you designed for.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
For everybody, this is our show. This is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen.
And the F in fame!
That's what I'm talking about. I'm Laura Starling, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. We have a wonderful new artist with us today, Christian country singer, Shelly Burris. Hi, Shelly.
Hey, how are you?
Good, fantastic. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You do too.
Thank you. Who is Shelly Burris?
I would say, at the end of the day, I'm just a country girl. I grew up in the country, small town girl, but I've always had a big dream. And, I love singing for the Lord, and I love singing about His goodness. But another big part of it for me is I love singing for people and making them feel good. Like, I like to help people feel a connection to music.
So when did you first start singing?
I grew up singing in church. My family were very active in music within the church as well. So there's this picture we have in my family, and it's of where I was like 5 years old, I think, maybe younger. And I was standing on one of the choir pews, on three hymnals that were stacked up for me because I was so short and small that you couldn't really see me from the audience. And my dad was bent down on his knees playing the guitar for me, and I was singing with a microphone that was almost as big as me. So those are some of my earliest memories. So I know a lot of people say that, but it is true. I've grown up since I can remember singing, period. So I would say since childhood.
What would you say are your musical inspiration? What artists would you say are your musical inspiration?
One of those, person that I've really grown to love in that way is Faith Hill. I have a country sound to my voice.
You do.
In 2010, I went to American Idol, and I made it to Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I know it was a whirlwind, but it was the first year that it was Jennifer Lopez, Steven Tyler, and Randy. Oh wow. So I got up, I did my thing in front of them, and the first thing Jennifer Lopez was the first one to say something, and the first thing she said was, you have such a beautiful voice. It's definitely country. And she said, the best piece of advice that I can give you, she said, is stick with what you like. Don't try to steer away from what you are.
That's right.
And so they liked that, I just stuck with country because I can't deny that in my voice, right?
Do you mind just doing a little song for us right now?
Yeah, of course. I'd love to.
All right, fantastic.
I've been sitting here staring at the clock on the wall, and I've been laying here praying she won't call. It's just another call from home, and you'll get it and be gone, and I'll be crying. And I'll be begging you, baby, begging not to leave. But I'll be left here waiting with my heart on my sleeve. Oh, for the next time we'll be here. Seems like a million years, and I think I'm dying.
What do I have to do to make you see? She can't love you like me, so why don't you stay? I'm down on my knees, now I'm so tired of being lonely. Don't I give you what you need when she calls you to go? There is one thing you should know, we don't have to live this way. Baby, why don't you stay? Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
You have an amazing voice.
Thank you. I love singing.
Yeah. So where can fans follow you?
So I currently have an Instagram page that they can follow, and it's Burrista, BURRISTA_.
All right, guys, you heard it right here. Follow Shelly Burris. She's an amazing singer. She is out of the Queen City, and we're so excited that she was here with us. So thank you so much, Shelly.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I'm Laura Starling, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Mama told me, girl, get ready. One day you'll turn around and every dream that poured out of your pen will disappear as that road starts to bend. But don't let go, 'cause what comes next is part of the greatest ride you'll ever know. Your heart may break 100 times, you might get down to your last dime before you climb back up and make it through. And tears will probably fall like rain, and some dreams of yours will go up in flames.
I'm Laura Starling, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. We dance for cake. We sing for cake. We love cake. Cake is art. Cake is made from the heart. Let's meet Brigitte Oger and find out how she got her start. Hi, Brigitte.
Hi, how are you, Laura?
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, who is Brigitte Oger?
Brigitte Oger is a cake artist from Miami, Florida, now living in Charlotte 6 years, and doing her thing as a professional pastry chef, cake aficionado, and that's pretty much it. Just living day to day.
Day to day. So where did you grow up? You grew up in Florida?
I did. Born and raised Miami, Florida. And then I left when I was 21. So I looked for somewhere to do my secondary schooling, or should I say college, university.
Yes.
Get a little bit of experience outside of where I grew up, and I found Charlotte, or Charlotte found me.
Found you. So where did you get your passion for baking? Like, when did you realize that you had a passion?
I realized I had a passion when I was a child. It's all I ever wanted to do, so I would watch a lot of TV with baking shows until my mom let me actually go into the kitchen and play around, make cookies, cakes, little desserts I saw on TV and just wanted to copy.
Did you go to culinary school to be a pastry chef?
I did go to culinary school. I went to Johnson & Wales and I studied baking and pastry and food service management, a 4-year program at Johnson & Wales.
So Johnson & Wales here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I did my first 2 years in North Miami.
North Miami.
The North Miami campus right out of high school, and then my last 1.5 to 2 years here in Charlotte.
So did you leave directly from culinary school into your own business, or did you do an internship or apprenticeship under someone?
I did internships, apprenticeships. I worked in the industry for 10 years and then finally decided that I wanted to open up my business.
So do you consider yourself an artist?
I did not until more recently, and I would say because I don't have any formal training in art, and sometimes it feels as though you can't be an artist unless you have that background. But people started saying, no, you are. You don't have to have that formal training. You have to just have an eye for it, and you do. So you should call yourself what you are. And
that's an artist.
so I've started to own that, yes.
Yeah, because like I've seen quite a few of your cakes, and it is like beautiful artwork that you don't really want to eat. You just want to sit it on a table and just like let it stay there for everyone to see.
Thank you. For the record, I always want you to eat the cake.
Oh,
Always.
okay. So where do you get your inspirations for your design and creating your cakes?
My inspiration usually comes from the natural world. I see plants, variations of color. Whenever I go to an art gallery or museum, I like to kind of take mental pictures and remember what I'm seeing, differences in shapes. And that's usually where I draw my inspiration from.
So I know there's a secret ingredient that you put in your cakes, but can you tell us what that is?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. What is it that makes your cake special?
I use applesauce in my cakes. I like to say they're applesauce based. Instead of using eggs, I make my own applesauce using local apples. And that acts as the binding agent between the oils and the water-based items in a cake batter. And it works just like eggs. It adds natural sweetness. It adds the proteins that needed to create structure in a cake.
So do you name your cakes?
I don't name my cakes.
You don't name your cakes?
I name my plants, but I don't name the cakes.
You know what? I would love to like move into the kitchen with you and you show us some of your skills on the cake side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you consider yourself a vegan bakery company? Or are your cakes vegan?
All of our cakes are not vegan. We don't consider ourselves a vegan cake company. We pretty much just like to produce cakes that can accommodate all dietary lifestyles. And in the industry, I found that a common problem we would run into was clients coming in asking for a vegan cake or a gluten-free cake, and we had nothing to offer them. So to avoid that and ensure that everyone can purchase something from us, we created a line of vegan cakes, gluten-free cakes, and standard cakes, which a standard cake I would say would include buttercream. So as long as you like really good cake, we have something for you.
That's good. So you basically tailored your business to the consumer market.
Exactly, yes.
And that's really important to know what your market is.
Yes, so we wanted to make sure that nobody has to scramble on either side when a vegan cake comes in, or a nut allergy, a gluten-free. We want to be able to work with everyone.
So you don't consider your cakes traditional cakes, and I don't either. Was that on purpose to distinguish yourself from all the other companies out there?
It was, and a lot of it too came from having previously worked in the cake industry. I worked with a certain type of cake back then, and so I kind of got fondant out of my system. I got 3D sculpted cakes out of my system, so I worked a lot heavily with that. And so by the time I spent years in the industry and then decided I wanted to open my business, I guess I was a little bit more comfortable with doing what I wanted to do and just trusting that people would appreciate what I have to offer and would want that for themselves or for their occasions.
So can you duplicate any of your cakes? If you have a customer come in and they say, I want that exact cake, I saw it on your Instagram page, you had this memory on here, can you duplicate it?
I can duplicate it to a certain extent. So nothing is concrete or absolute. So a lot of these cakes come from just the season outside, how I'm feeling that day. Am I very hyper? Am I excited? Am I kind of in a mellow mood? So typically when somebody comes with that request, I will let them know, each cake is unique. Every cake is a little bit different. I can use the same colors because we can always replicate the colors.
Right.
But the exact texture is not going to be the same, and it's always just going to have its own unique flavor to it, and they always appreciate that. I've never encountered a client that said, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, and what I love about it also, because it is artwork, there's no way to like duplicate artwork, and they're getting one of a kind.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. And that makes me happy. It keeps it interesting. It keeps it fun. I just did a cake this past weekend for a wedding, and they had given me a reference photo from my page.
Yes.
And I said, okay, I can do these colors. And honestly, the cake that came out, I liked it better because it was about a year removed. So you've grown, you've developed skill, it's just a lot of things happen in between those two cakes. So it really shows when you make it again.
You are now traveling some for clients. So how is that process if I'm in New York and I want a craft cake Charlotte cake?
So
How do I make that happen?
sometimes it can be shipped. Sometimes I actually have to be there. So we make arrangements for flight and hotel, and basically just set aside that whole week for preparations and accounting for travel. And then we get on site. Typically, weddings and these parties are happening at venues that have a kitchen already. So it makes it easy for me to bring in my items and build the cake from the ground up.
Like right there.
Yes. Yeah. We bake in our kitchen here, but everything else is done on site.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
where can fans, because I'm a fan of craft cakes, where can fans follow you?
On Instagram,
On Instagram?
at Craft Cake CLT, or on Facebook, Craft Cake CLT. And our website is craftcakeclt.com.
Fantastic. Guys, you heard it right here. I'm so excited that I had an opportunity to kind of chop it up with Brigitte. And I had to learn how to say her name, so this is so funny. Brigitte Oger is a French name, if you guys didn't know.
My parents will be proud.
So thank you so much for bringing us into your kitchen.
Thank you so much for having
It's been a joy
Thank you.
to interview you and really talk about your creations.
Thanks. I appreciate your time.
Guys, this is the end of our show. I'm Laura Starling, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. See you next time.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Naomi Charnel, and I'm here for the Underground in Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. And I'm here with DJ Karz. What's up?
Hey, just doing my thing, happy to be here with you today.
Well, I'm so glad you stopped by to the Underground. So how did you get started with DJing?
You know what? I remember when I was a kid, like in elementary school, I used to record tapes off the radio and chop up the songs and make my own mixtapes and stuff. I mean, I was
Did
a
your own
kid.
thing.
Yeah, and I was anything I saw related to DJs and stuff on TV or whatever, I was just hooked on it. And it wasn't something that I thought I could immediately pursue, but one thing led to another, working in nightlife and getting to know other DJs. Found an opportunity to kind of learn a little bit about it and start doing it. And once I did, it was all she wrote.
Oh, so who are some of your influences?
I've got so many because I have such a diverse background in music. I actually started even playing electric guitar when I was a kid, so I used to play heavy metal and classic rock and stuff like that. So when I got into the DJ scene, obviously, hip hop legends, like Jazzy Jeff and stuff were a big inspiration for me, being on TV and just mainstream, but all the big hip hop DJs from back in the day, and also on the EDM side, getting attracted to that high energy, club music. So that's kind of how I ended up being an open format DJ, because I followed so many different ones. I got a little bit of inspiration from all of them.
All right, so tell us what you have going on. What's your next projects coming up?
Well, I'm working here in town with the Coalition DJs, and we're doing a lot of events focused on artists and artist development and breaking records and things of that nature. I've got also a history working with Crown Town DJs here in the city, doing a lot of uptown venues, DJing some of the venues in the epicenter and stuff like that. So I've got, like I said, a diverse background in different kinds of music, and I like to stay connected to hip hop, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do, with the Coalition. So I don't know if you know a lot about the Coalition DJs, but they've been influential in breaking records, for major artists in the past, and they're, been growing their chapters around the country, and so that's, I've got friends that I've been doing stuff with for years here in the city, focused on artists and DJs, and they came together to develop a chapter here in North Carolina, and so we're trying to build that up and incorporate what other artists are doing in the area and help break them in this market as well as other markets, and also helping artists coming in from other markets get exposure, in the Carolinas with their music. Check me out at djkarz.com, facebook.com/djkarz, Twitter and Instagram, MCDJKarz, K-A-R-Z.
So, all right, y'all. This is your girl Naomi Charnel and DJ Karz. Y'all stay tuned for more. Bye.
Ripping and a running and a racing through my day. Hustling, but baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. Then I got a text that you was checking up on me. Stop everything. Stop everything. Out here on my grind because I gotta get that green. Never chasing paper, only chasing after dreams. Then I got a call that you was reaching out to me. Baby, I gotta see, you the one I gotta see. Stop it. Somebody stop the world. Turn it off, 'cause I just wanna focus on you. Slow down, I don't wanna move too fast. I just wanna make it last. Notify me, set it off. Smoke screen, gotta make sure I see you. Talk to me, what's the thing? Notify me, set it off. Smoke screen, gotta make sure I see you. Talk to me, what's the thing? Notify me. Gotta keep checking my phone 'cause I'm checking for pay. Social media sending me pointless messages. It's so frivolous when I only wanted one thing. I want you here with me, gotta have you here with me. 'Cause lonely scrolling on these screens ain't getting me nowhere. I'm looking at your picture, but I'd rather have you here. Texting and a tweeting, I just wanna be sincere. Baby, we gotta be in the flesh reality. Stop it. Somebody stop the world. Turn it off, 'cause I just wanna focus on you. Slow down, I don't wanna move too fast. Baby, I just wanna make it last. Notify me, set it off. Smoke screen, gotta make sure I see you. Chat to me, it's a thing. Notify me, set it off. Smoke screen, gotta make sure I see you. Chat to me, it's a thing.
City fame, serving up at the Mound. Make hits like the Panthers, pound after pound. Keep that southern energy, this motor go around. Jay the God in the biz, and I'm coming for the crown.
They know my name in the Queen City.